Yeah, I'm here in the park. I'm like at the RawTill4 festival, and we gathered here together for Durianriders or Harley's Q&A, and he's gonna make a Q&A. We can ask questions, he's answering, and yeah, it's so good. Like he takes all the time it takes for answering any question, and he's like so amazing, such an amazing personality, so like selfless, and he has like every second for anyone who needs help with anything. It is so amazing. He's admirable. Yeah.
Check this out.
So now I'm gonna move.
Low.
More like during the time of the month, actually.
Anytime, really. Yeah. And fitness is 12 is important.
That's good, because I discovered durian yesterday and I actually like it. So.
Yeah, well, durian is like in nature. Durian is sort of a seasonal fruit, and it, the fat intake can increase.
Do you know how many calories in a durian? For 100 grams of durian?
Maybe 100, 150.
All right.
Yeah. Eat it, enjoy it, and just experiment with your body. But you'll find over time in this lifestyle, even if you do eat a lot of fat and give it a period of time, it might be less than what it used to be. And Freelee used to take medication for painkillers, and now she doesn't have to. So, but low fat's definitely where it's at. But sport always does help. The body has to move. So riding your bike around, like before I'm running late, I'm like, oh my god, it's 3 o'clock, I'm in the hotel. Went to the bike shop with pitting people on bikes and getting people kitted up. So the bike, went from the bike shop to the hotel, get my water, fly here. If I was in a tuk-tuk or a taxi, I'd still be there. I'd be like, probably getting taken to a ladyboy show or something. Bicycle is like an incredible transformative tool for whatever lifestyle we live. Doesn't matter how fit you are, the bike is like incredible.
Thanks.
Incredible. So it will get better over time. I'm not designed to be in pain, that's for sure. Yes.
At one time, you had a big coffee drinker, and how you dealt with your fat habit, and also does dark chocolate or chocolate fit in at all to your diet?
Was I a big coffee drinker, and how did I overcome it? Does dark chocolate fit into this lifestyle? Is that the question? Yeah, so I used to be a big coffee drinker, smashing down the coffees. I haven't had a cup of coffee since 1999. The last time I had a cup of coffee, I was so charged, I was like chasing trucks and buses home. And I'm thinking, man, I'm on speed. I used to do speed. So coffee is the same as speed, just a little bit less intense. And so I'm thinking, hey, I've got off speed, now I'm on coffee. What's the difference? Coffee's accepted. My grandma will give me coffee. She wouldn't give me speed though. But it's the same freaking thing, just a little bit less intense. And so I got rid of the coffee. I started drinking a little bit of tea, but I definitely cut down my caffeine intake over time. And I got in touch with my real feelings of fatigue and energy. And so then I became obsessed, because now I didn't have this coffee to pick me up. Because when you're on coffee, just like, charge it on. Feel tired, smash in the caffeine, you go. Just keep having 10 cups of coffee a day. But so I got off that, and all of a sudden it was like flopping. And then I became obsessed about hydration and sleep and learning about carbohydrate intake. And that's what's brought me to today. I've used caffeine in the last 10 years, definitely. I've experimented with caffeine, pills, etc. And I can honestly say that you won't need caffeine if you're eating enough carbohydrates, getting enough rest, and drinking enough water. Number one cause of daytime fatigue is not enough water. So if you feel like having a cup of coffee, have a litre of water first and wait an hour. And then maybe have a cup of coffee then. But just have the water first. Replace caffeine with water and sugars. And dark chocolate, you won't want dark chocolate if you eat enough simple sugars from fruits or sugar on cereal or whatever. I mean, who feels like dark chocolate after 10 mangoes? I don't. But I can eat vegan chocolate if I want. But I've had that in the past, but it's too greasy, I don't feel good. So I just eat enough simple sugars from fruits or fruit juices, etc. So that'd be my tip. If you're craving chocolate, you need to increase your simple sugar intake. Otherwise, you're going to have so much fat in your blood from all the chocolate, and then you've got the caffeine withdrawal the next day, the theobromine, and you just feel crap, then you want more. It's a vicious cycle. So I'd say get rid of the chocolate, get rid of the caffeine, and just replace it with water and fruits and sugars. And that's what worked for me, it works for everyone. And I've seen pro cycling now, a lot of cyclists are like, not using caffeine in training, only use it for race day only. So then they can recover better, because when you have coffee in the morning or whatever, you charged up all day, and it affects your sleep cycle, and then you can't sleep properly, and then you need more stimulants, and it's just this downward spiral. So I say get rid of stimulants for at least a couple of years, so that you'll get in, people go, what the fuck, you crazy? But do it, and you get in touch with what works for you. Okay? I used to eat McDonald's every day, meat every day, dairy every day, did speed, ecstasy, cocaine, meth, bongs, acid, pretty much the standard Australian teenage diet. Acid, bongs and Maccas. And yeah, so it's good I lived on that side of the fence. I mean, it was good, but I lived there too long. I wish I learned, you know, I wish I was at the Thai Fruit Festival when I was 19 or whatever, instead of, you know, breaking in the cars and being in jail and for graffiti and all that stuff. So, but it's good to have that background, so then I can relate to other kids and say, look, I've been there. It might be a bit of fun for a bit, but it ain't going to be sustainable. You might want to make some changes in your life to head you in the direction you really want to go. Otherwise, you're in jail, getting affectionate with a broomstick against your will, with your head in a bench rice. So, yeah.
A lot of people say, okay, good carbs, fair enough, but what about the refined carbs? They say the refined carbs actually get stored as fat.
Yeah.
And like, if you drink only juice just in one sitting, then that's a different thing. But you prefer white rice, right? So can you explain why you would say they're not bad?
So the question is, people say fruit's good, brown rice is good, but stay away from sugar and refined processed carbohydrates will make you obese. And I used to think that as well. Mm-hmm. I watched some of my older videos and I'm like, wow, I used to entertain that. But then I worked out, hey, I'm eating a fruitarian-based diet. I'm eating like 300 grams of fructose a day. I'm eating so much sugar a day from fruit for like 10 years and I'm still rail lean. And what's the difference between processed sugar? There's no difference except that the processed sugar doesn't have the vitamins in there. Mm-hmm. So if you're just having like sugar and water, there's no vitamins in there. So you might be vitamin C deficient one day or whatever, but you won't because you eat enough fruit anyway. And what processed carbohydrates don't make anyone fat, it's what they eat them with. When most people have sugar, they have it with like the sauce on a hot dog or the ketchup in a Big Mac or a donut. You know, like we had this discussion on Facebook today, Freelee did. Someone said, oh, pasta makes you fat because it's refined, it's processed food. It's like, it doesn't make you fat. It's the cream cheese people eat with their pasta. So, monkeys coming at me. So it's like, processed carbohydrates are fine for weight loss. Perfect. They're very, very lean. But they don't have enough vitamins and minerals to support your health. So you need the fresh, whole plant foods like the fruits and vegetables in addition to that. So if you just live on white rice and sugar, you'd be amazingly skinny long term. But you wouldn't get enough B vitamins or C or things like that. So you need the fresh foods, the whole foods. But processed carbohydrates, I mean, this is sugarcane juice. You know, been drinking that today, been drinking fruit juice. Processed carbohydrates. Slim as. You go to Asia. Look in Asia. They live on white rice here. Everyone's pretty slim in general. You know, everyone's pretty slim. Then you go to Australia, people's definition of processed carbohydrates and meat lovers triple cheese pizza with bacon rashes. And they blame the white flour. Nah, it's the fat we eat, it's the fat we wear. 100%. Otherwise I'd be obese. I don't do enough training on the bike to warrant my level of leanness. Neither does Freelee. Freelee looks like an Olympic level cyclist or runner. She's fit, but she's not that fit. I know girls who are fatter than Freelee who can ride fast and run faster than Freelee. But they don't eat the same as Freelee. They do all the training though, they're dedicated, but they eat the dairy and the meat because their coach says you've got to have protein. I'm like, if you want to be a skinny runner, you've got to get your protein right down, otherwise it's going to be too heavy. So processed carbohydrates are good for weight loss as long as they come from a high carb vegan source. And for your health though, you need to have your fresh fruits and vegetables to get enough nutrition. But by adding in some processed carbohydrates like sugar, it means that if your fruit isn't that perfectly ripe, you're getting some more sugar in. Like when I used to eat just bananas for smoothies, I had good energy. But when I started adding sugar into it, I'm just like, boom, more stamina. So that's, I think, I see a lot when I was a raw food purist. I had very undulating stamina levels, you know, but now it's just like crazy all the time. Any day of the year I can go ride 500 kilometres in one day if I want to. I rarely do it, but I know I can do it any day of the year because now I've always got enough energy. But when I was a raw fooder, I wanted to do it, but I'm like, oh, you know, I don't know. But now it's any day of the week I can go and do it. You know, so it feels good. But yeah, processed carbohydrates, good for weight loss. If you're obese, it's going to help you with the weight loss. No one else is going to tell you it because they're scared of stigma or whatever, but I'll tell you straight up, definitely.
Do you ever spend a thought on the higher fat content of the whole foods? So starch is basically like the brown rice or any kind of pasta. Is that an argument for you?
The fat content of rice?
Yeah, like the difference between the refined and the unrefined starches.
What about them?
So there's a little bit more
Fat?
Yeah.
No, it's not. You won't get fat from eating brown rice or corn.
Yeah.
Even though, yeah, it might have more fat than bananas, it's not enough fat to make someone fat.
Yeah.
Long term.
Yeah.
And then you've got the case of people on a rebound thing. They might have a calorie restriction past or a bulimic past or a drug addiction past. So then they get enough calories, the body holds on to more fat and fluid. And they go, hang on, I'm getting fat. No, you'll hit a ceiling and you'll come back down. But if you're eating the standard Aussie diet or American diet, that's how people become obese. So you might get heavy for a bit, but eventually you'll come down, like Freelee. She used to weigh more than me. You know, but she hit a ceiling. But if she was eating standard Aussie diet, she'd be obese now. She'd be like 90 kilos, 100%, 100 kilos maybe. And, you know, that's just the fact. So if you have a dieting history, you're going to rebound to some degree, but you hit a ceiling, and then you become back down, 100%. You see it all the time. Freelee's a perfect example. I know.
Do you have a preference of what kind of sugar you add? And would you add any sugar if you only had refined white sugar, would you add that?
Definitely.
And then what's your preference if you had the choice of any sugar?
Can people hear me down the back all right? Okay, so you can hear me. Good. So the question is, what's my preference of sugars? Would I eat white refined sugar? I definitely would. If I've got a preference, so it's organic sugars, certified organic sugars. I don't need sugar in Thailand because I've got sugarcane juice, and the fruit's so sweet here. I've got coconut syrup drinks, but in Australia, it's hard to get quality sweet fruit consistently. So I use organic sugar in Australia. It's like a brown organic sugar. I'll use white sugar if I have to, for sure. It's not an issue. Again, if you eat enough fresh fruits and veggies, you'll get your minerals and vitamins there. But white sugar doesn't make anyone fat. It does not. It does not at all. And I'm living proof. And all the people that freely, that's what people eat with their sugar. Yesterday I saw this skinny Thai lady in the 7-Eleven, and she had this big jug of like red syrupy soft drink. And that's all she was getting. It's like her treat or something. But in Australia they'd have that plus a hot dog or a meat pie. And then they blame the sugar. Because people want to eat the greasy and the fat stuff. They think, oh, no, it's the sugar is the problem. White poison, you know, sugar, the bit of truth, you know. Robert Lustig, the obese guy, told me that fructose is bad for you. But that skinny Durianrider says fructose is good for you. I'm going to listen to the obese guy. So people want to hear good things about their bad habits. If I cut out sugar, I can go and have a mistake. And I'll have a bit of sugar on it anyway, because you've got to live, right? So it's just a bit, what people do is they say, oh, I don't eat sugar. Like the other night I was in the 7-Eleven getting some juice, right? I had like 7 juices lined up, or 10 juices, whatever. Big pile of juice in my bag. This guy next to me's got a Coke Zero. I thought, I've got to say something, you know? So I said, oh, you should try this juice out, it's really good. He goes, yeah, but fresh is better. Fresh is better. I said, yeah, maybe it is, but look, mate, you honestly can't talk because you're drinking Coke Zero. And I picked it up and said, dude, Coke fucking Zero. He's going, yeah, good point, good point. So, you know, people, so he hit his head, he goes, oh, I don't drink fruit juice because that's like fruit. They're drinking Coke Zero. My mum says, I don't touch processed sugars, but she's eating chocolate. She's obese. So people have this thing in their head, if I tell myself I don't eat that, when I actually do most of the time or whatever, there's just a bit of an issue there. So my preference for sugar is organic, and then I'll do whatever it takes afterwards. But in Australia, it's easy for me to get organic sugar. Easy. Easy done. What was a breaking point for me to leave raw food purity and go back to what I used to do, a high carb vegan diet? with lots of fruit anyway. The breaking point was, I guess, I was with a Tour de France team, and I was riding around Adelaide in January. I was out riding my bike, and this Tour de France team come flying past, and they said, hey, we're trying to go here. Where do we go? I said, oh, follow me, I'll take you there. And as I'm riding with them, I think, gee, I don't have any food with me. I've run out of dates. And like, do you want a bottle of sports drink? I said, no, it's okay, I don't drink that stuff. But I'll have a bottle of water. So we're riding for about an hour up and down the mountains, and I'm going, man, I'm about to hit the wall here. I'm about to run out of sugars. But I can't drink the sports drink because that's not raw, and I'm a raw foodist. So we're riding along, and the guys are talking about the vegan diets and wearing my Go Vegan kit. And all right, that's pretty good. You look pretty fit. And then we come to this hill, and I said, look, guys, I'm out of energy, man. I'll let you guys go. They're like, have a sports drink, have a sports drink. I said, oh, I can't eat that stuff. And so they said, all right, no worries. Which way do we go? I said, go ahead and turn left, whatever. And so I'm riding by myself, about to faint from low blood sugar. And I'm thinking, what am I doing? Like, these guys are ridden with a vegan. They're going, yeah, we met a vegan in Australia. He was good for an hour. And then he probably died in the desert. So I started to think, what are my goals? My goal is to be super healthy, super lean, super fit, without drugs. Is having a bit of sugar and that now and then going to kill me? No. Is it going to make me fat? No. Is it going to help my fitness and stay healthier? Yes. So then I started adding in some more. And then January last year, when I did the Strava challenge, trying to ride over 6,000 Ks a month, I went back to all my favourite vegan foods like rice and pasta and cereal and sugar, and felt fantastic, you know. So that was my breaking point, was just travelling and doing more, trying to run the forum better, do more YouTube stuff, more speaking, get my book done, be fitter, win more running races. In 2012 I won like over 30 running races, mostly 5Ks, just because I was always carved up. So, I mean, I think raw food's fantastic. Most of my diet's still raw food, but I also understand that purity doesn't mean anything if you're starving yourself. Purity doesn't mean anything if all your friends and family go, that's a joke.
Yeah.
Purity doesn't mean anything if you're not reaching your goals because you're starved.
How would you measure health? Exactly. Like, we're talking about all the emphasis on being thin, but you know there's thousands and millions of people who are thin, still eating crap.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and so with that aside, how would you describe, explain health?
How would I measure health?
Yeah, how would you measure health?
For me, that's a good question. My definition of health would be to have as much energy naturally as you want to do anything you want to do in life. Every day of the year. Enough vitality that you're in control of your emotions. And enough stamina to get the job done without having to resort to caffeine or whatever. And that you know that you can push your body really hard and have it not break down. That would be my definition of health for me. So yeah, I see a lot of people who are slim, they're eating crap, but what we'll often see someone in 18 or 25 smoking durries and eating Big Macs or whatever, but we don't see them 10 years down the track when they're like obese with heart disease. So I know plenty of people like that. I know plenty of guys when I was in my 20s, they were like lean and cut, and now they couldn't run around the block at pace. They've got a big fat gut, whatever. It doesn't make them bad people, but often we take a snippet of someone down the street, they're eating a donut and a cigarette, and they look really good or whatever. We go, well, why am I eating so good? They're eating that, they're lean. But we don't see what happens later on. Just like if you see someone on a motorbike fanging past at 200k an hour, you think, well, that's pretty cool. But you don't see them when they... Who saw the dead body this morning? Yeah. Dead body on the road today. We were riding up the road. On our right was a Western guy, dead, blood, big pool of blood near his head, sheet over him, Thai police, ambulance there. Maybe he was flying down the road, he didn't have a helmet on. Maybe some kid go, wow, look at that cool guy, he's got no helmet, he's texting and he's driving at high speed, he's pretty cool. But they didn't see when he died today. So we might see someone doing something that sort of defies our logic, but we don't see them later on around the corner. Things always catch up with us. I mean, I ate so much crap, if I died of a heart attack tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me. You know? People might blame my diet now, but they wouldn't look at my past. They go, look, that vegan guy died. But they forget of the thousands of Big Macs I ate. You know, so, or the thousands of gallons of milk I drank. Or the amount of ecstasy I used to use. So, there's a lot of thin people out there doing the wrong things, but are they emotionally stable? How long will they sustain that? So seeing that dead guy today, I was like, man, life's short. Like, there's a bit of, I'll tell you anyway, you might want to hear it, there's a bit of brain on the Adobe pole where his head splattered. And the Thai police drew a circle around it in paint. And in Thailand, if there's a dead body, they just take the body and they leave whatever's left over. Just as a reminder to the public, take care. So wear your helmets, because things can happen. Especially on a motorbike.
Can we get a gun show?
A gun show? There's only a little skinny rifle here. You have to watch YouTube for that, because I'll stretch the screen out and make myself look bigger. Trolling 24/7. How do I deal with criticism? Make $11,000 a month on YouTube. How does Freelee deal with criticism? Makes $21,000 a month. Literally. That's how you deal with it. Educate people and on YouTube. Our ability to help people help themselves is in direct proportion to our ability to handle criticism. We can't help anyone unless we can handle criticism. Because you might say something to your parents, your lover, your mother, your brother, whatever. You might give them the best message ever, and they're like, "That's just crazy. You're an idiot. You know, you're a moron." And if you take it personally and go, "That's it. I'm never helping anyone again. People are suck," then you can't help anyone. But if you see an objection as a request for more information, and say, "Well, they're probably under carb. They've got their issues, whatever." I'm just going to deliver the message, not be attached to the outcome. Just deliver the message and let them develop, process it. And that's how you deal with criticism. Just don't take it personally. Focus on giving the message versus trying to force people into something. Don't want it more for others than they want it themselves. Give them the information, move on to the next person. If they grab you by the throat and try and headbutt you, just push them away and keep walking, But no one's really going to do that. No one's walked up in the street and said, "You're a Durianrider, aren't you? I'm going to king hit you." No one's ever walked up in the street and said, "You're an idiot." Ever. But people on YouTube say, "I'm going to stab you and rape you and whatever." It's just talk. YouTube's the first time in history anyone in the world can have an opinion internationally. Even if you're a troll. So you can have a fake account and write all this nasty stuff. But it's just on the internet. It's not real world. It's not real world. So don't take it personally if you get a troll on YouTube. We had a whole website dedicated to trashing us, 30bananas-they-sucks.com. And when it first started, I was really angry. I was like, how dare people we helped start up a forum bashing us when we did so much for them? And I was irate. But now when the website got closed down, I was sort of saddened because that was like a really good tool to get our word out there. So I went from really anger and just disappointment to disappointment that it's gone now. So hopefully someone else starts up a new one. Seriously, because it helped get our word out there. Why they started? Just hating. Yeah, like a few of them got together and created a forum, Some people change, that's cool. Lovers become haters, haters become lovers. Doesn't matter, just focus on getting the message out there. That's what I've learned in the last few years. Focus on getting the message out there versus trying to please everyone. Because what's that saying? You can't please everyone, but you can please some people some of the time, or whatever. End of the day, just follow your heart. Criticism, learn to deal with it. You're going to get a lot of it. Criticism is good. Helps you learn more.
Harley, you said criticism doesn't bother you, but it seems to bother you when they degrade you at the Woodstock.
That's a good question. Criticism doesn't bother me, but Harley, when I got relegated to Woodstock, that bothered me. That wasn't really criticism for me. Criticism, my definition of criticism is like sharing your opinion. When someone sort of took us off the speakers list or whatever and just wanted us along to promote their event, I was like, that's more than criticism for me. That's like a what's the word? Yeah, stab in the back. It's a bit like if I loan someone my bicycle and I say look after it, and they give it back to me broken, say, here's your bike. I'm like, I'm not going to say no worries, mate, I'll fix it. I'm not giving you my bike again. I learned my lesson. So I don't want to be associated with Doug or Christine or all those people again. So I wouldn't see it as criticism. I'd see it as a behaviour that I didn't like. And I felt like being a doormat. I felt like I was a doormat if I accepted that, tolerated that. Does that make sense?
Are you still friends with Mike?
Yeah. Mike is Mike's a good guy. He's in the sort of middle. He gave me warnings. He said, look, Doug and Christina, they all want you out. They all want you out. Take down the videos, apologise to them, let's get it back together. I said, Mike, I'm not going to do that, man. You know. And he kept calling me, trying to, you know, smooth it over. Mike's a good guy. He's easy to get money from. You know, Doug gets so much money from him. Doug wouldn't give a fuck about the professional collapse, which will collapse eventually. But Doug doesn't care because he's making heaps of money off it. So, but Mike doesn't understand that because Mike's in a bit of a purity situation. Up and down he goes. But now you can sort of see what a mistake it was. So I don't hate Mike. I don't hate anyone really. I'm just disappointed in people. And I won't promote them ever again. Yeah. So you learn your lessons in life. So I'd say don't be bitter. Just learn lessons and make better choices in the future. Right. In a sentence, what would your question be, you think? So, is it easier to stay vegan on RawTill4 versus 80-10-10? I mean, Doug's program is good, but it's just, it's not realistic. The joke is in the vegan world, the joke in the vegan world is, if you want to make a vegan go off vegan lifestyle, give them the 80-10-10. They won't be vegan very long. Because people get so hungry, it's like, fuck it, just give me whatever. So, but it's got some very good virtues. So we're trying to create a program that gives people options, the best options around, versus just say, this is how it is, or nothing else. Most people do 80-10-10, they're eating Big Macs and bacon on the side. I get all the time people write me, I've been coached by Doug, but I don't tell anyone because I'm trying to be 80% down 100%, but I'm still obese. I'm like, what are you eating? I'm like, a bit of rice. I said, what else are you eating? Oh, yeah, KFC and blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, how about do our program? You know, and they're, I'm trying to be 100% raw, you know. And I'm like, no, forget that dogma or whatever. Be 100% carved up, lean and healthy for life. So we find this program's a lot easier for people to do. Because it's great here. You've got people who have fruit for dinner here. And you've got people who go and eat the restaurants out of rice. So we're giving people options and they can adjust and calibrate for whatever they want. They might go, I'm going to eat fruit for the next 6 months and me have rice at Christmas time and Thanksgiving. Cool. So we're giving people options and we're empowering them and letting them know more about their body. So 80-10-10 is a great book, but it's a bit outdated. You know, some things to improve upon, definitely. More lifestyle choices, talking about the mindset, etc. That's what we promote, lifestyle of this, because for many years I promoted 80-10-10 as the only book to read, and I just getting so much feedback. People try it, like a lot of my cycling friends would try it, and they're like, yeah, I did the vegan diet, it doesn't work for me, Harley. I'm like, well, you did the fruitarian diet, maybe that didn't work for where you live in Australia, whatever. They're like, but I thought vegan was fruit. Yeah, so we're trying to educate people what a vegan lifestyle is and what's the best way to do it. The fruit should be the main part of it, but there's other things you can eat as well, if you want to. Does that sort of answer your question, or? Yeah. So that's why, you know, that's why our movement is growing so big, is that people can actually do it. Like, Christina will get a lot of subscribers, but there's such a high turnover, you know, because people get excited and they go, I can't do that, and then they just drop off. People watch us and go, yeah, I can get bananas, I can get rid of rice, yeah, let's go to a restaurant with my friends, yeah, I can do that. 80-10-10, you can't go to a restaurant the rest of your life. I'm just going to eat cucumbers and tomatoes. Who's going to eat cucumbers and tomatoes at a restaurant? I mean, I've done it, I would do it, I don't care what people think, but most people aren't going to do that. Who's going to have like a fully raw kale salad at a restaurant? No one's going to do that. What's that?
It would still be healthy and enough, wouldn't it?
It'd still be healthy, but a lot of people socially wouldn't want to do that. So your diet has to be beneficial for your social life as well. Unless you're just like crazy like us, and you know, I've gone to restaurants with a bowl of grapes. I don't care, you know. But I know a lot of people wouldn't do that, so they just drop off the wagon and just forget it all. Because Doug and Christine, everyone says it's 100% raw is law. If you can't get fruit, you don't eat.
Yeah, but I'm really not speaking in terms of sociability.
No fucks are given.
Really just a question of health, not sociability. It's just purely health. Without overdoing sports, raw foods 100% are enough to sustain ourselves.
Depends what raw food diet you're doing. You know?
Oh, we have salads like bananas, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. But you still need to do sport. You can't be healthy unless you're doing sport. Put an animal in a cage. We put a deer in a backyard and just feed it grass. It won't be healthy unless it can move around. So we need to move. People say, oh, I don't want to do sport. I just want to eat bananas. That's great, but you won't be healthy. Your body will be just like, it won't work properly. Because we're designed to move, pump our lymph. We're designed to sweat, fresh air, vigorous activity. Nothing crazy, but just getting out there and doing stuff. Building our fitness over the years. We have to do it. Otherwise we won't be healthy. And that's why a lot of people in the raw food diet aren't very fit, because they don't get enough calories. And it's just hard to really go hardcore when you're just flailing. What's that?
Oh.
What's that for?
Oh, we didn't know if we needed for our last time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's that lady? Is that Thai police or something?
Have you seen these people?
I don't know.
I think earlier I watched you and Freelee talk about not having any added salt at all and just using greens to get salt. But yesterday you said it was alright to have a bit of salt,
Yes.
even iodized salt. So I just wanted to ask you about that.
So why did our story change? We used to say no salt, no salt, no salt. And now we're saying have a bit of salt, it's okay. Why did we change that? Because again, we sort of worked out a little bit of salt's not going to be an issue at all. You know, you might wake up with a puffy face, but you go move, your face sucks in again. So how you feel in the morning isn't necessarily how your whole day is going to be. I remember one time in 2002, I was in a bicycle race in Canberra, Australia, tour of Canberra, and one of my cycling buddies, we were sleeping in someone's lounge room on the floor, and I woke up feeling really crisp, energetic. He woke up, look at his face is puffy, and it's just all like waking up, and I thought, man, he's going to have a really bad day today. Look at him, he looks like shit. He won the race that day. He smashed everyone. And so I learned how you wake up in the morning isn't a reflection. He totally obliterated the field. Alright? He woke up looking like a truck hit him. So I learned just in that day that how you wake up in the morning, how you look or feel isn't a reflection of what's going to happen later in the day. So you can have a bit of salt if you want. You don't need to. I did salt free for a number of years. You don't need to have it, but if you want to have it. But just, I wouldn't recommend having a salt shaker. Like, you know, like my step-grandpa used to like shake the salt on his food. You know, then taste it, and more salt. That's obviously too much salt. We don't need that much salt at all. You know, so even when I go to a restaurant now, I can't eat it if it's too salty. So a little bit of salt's fine, and sport is going to help you flush out any extra salt if you're eating it. That's what you need to do, sport. Even if you're on a salt-free diet, you still need to do sport. It's going to help you so much. So a bit of salt here and there is fine. You don't need to have it if you don't want it. Juliet. If you eat, what percent of people say, hey, if you eat cooked food, you don't love yourself? I don't know on that one. It's an interesting one. I think there's a level of orthorexia. Like my friend one time, we gave him some raisins, just some organic raisins. And he says, is there any sugar on this? I said, no sugar, no sugar. There's no sugar on them, they're totally organic. We gave him the sugar, the raisins, he ate them. And he's like, these are good, and he's eating his raisins. He said, oh, they got sugar on them. I said, the white crystals, there's sugar. It was no sugar. And he just started flipping out. He's freaking out, he's spitting them out, he's washing his mouth out. He's going, you guys are assholes, man, you know, blah, blah, blah. We're in this forest on a mountain bike ride. And he's going, I'm trying to be raw, I don't want to have sugar, I'm going to get sick. So he made this stuff up in his head that wasn't even there. And then after a few minutes of pissing ourselves laughing, we said, look, Keisha, we don't need to panic you, man. There's no sugar in it. He goes, that's bullshit. I can feel it. I said, look. So it took us over 2 hours to calm him down, literally. And say, look, here's the packet, man. There's no sugar on there. And he goes, oh. And that lesson that day realised that how much we make things in our head bigger than they really are. So if someone says to you, you eat rice means you don't love yourself, I disagree with that. I think you can, whatever diet you eat, you can still be loving of yourself.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Because love is just a choice in the moment. It's not really what you eat. Obviously, eat better, so that's what we want, but at one point in my life, but I realised it's unrealistic. You're getting good at something really dumb. You know, being totally pure and just like, is my water raw? You know, there's people that sell raw water now. So I think it becomes an extreme where it's a bit unbeneficial. So it's about finding the balance point. So loving yourself is just a choice in the moment.
The 1,000 milligrams of sodium, is that including the sodium and vegetables, or just from
Everything.
Like everything?
You can have more than that if you want.
Oh.
The body needs maybe 150 milligrams a day of salt, so we don't need much at all. But if you're sweating a lot, your body's going to get rid of any excess anyway. So it's not an issue. It depends what food you're having your salt with. Again, salt, if you've got high blood pressure issues, your blood pressure is going to go down once your fat intake goes down anyway. So I don't see anyone here at this festival eating too much salt. But I do see people who might be going to bed too late, or not drinking enough water in the morning, or, you know, not doing enough sport, moving the body around enough. But I don't see anyone here eating too much salt.
Would you say with intense training you actually need a little bit more salt?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't find I needed it, but it didn't hurt when I put it in there. But if it helps you eat a healthy diet, then use it.
Because I felt better when I did pretty intense training, and I got that fatigue, and so
Yeah, if you feel better with it, it's fine.
I felt
A little
better.
bit.
Yeah.
I used to be pretty hard on the salt, but I've relaxed a lot on it. So I realise I've looked at, you know, just as older I get, the more experience I get. It's not really an issue.
What I found from salt is I get tired.
If it doesn't work for you, don't use it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like if you don't need to add salt to your diet. If you want to have a bit, do it. If you don't like it, don't use it. Simple as that. So we give people options. On this RawTill4 fruitarian carb to fuck up lifestyle, whatever you want to call it, we give people options. So you can have the salt if you want. You can have no salt. You can have all just pure fruit and vegetable. You can have vegan pizzas for dinner. We give you options, and you soon find out a template that works for you in your life. That's what I'm trying to do, is put the responsibility back in the individual, give people options in today's real world. No matter where you live, what your current weight is, what your current fitness level is, how much money you earn, you can do something. You can do this lifestyle.
Still in the shop.
You know, when it's too far the wrong way, for example, I have a
Yeah.
friend who's gone in for a while and she got sick, and I'm not sure
It's
she's
just a rule.
got supplements, but how do you know when it's gone too far the wrong way, or you're going to put top for it, or...
How do you know your diet's not working for you? Probably when you're like, just can't function anymore. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people have got eating disorders, and then they get into the raw food lifestyle, and then they've got maybe anorexia or whatever, or they're calorie restricting, and they go, I'm going to calorie restrict. Now I'm going to be a fruitarian, I'm going to bring my calorie restrict lifestyle with me. And then they just like flail and fail, and the doctors go, oh, it's a fruitarian diet. But it wasn't that, it was their anorexia they brought over. So, how do you know something's not working for you? Well, it's just not working. But a raw vegan diet could be anything. It could be like a David Wolf, cacao, cashew, greasy smoothie for breakfast, magic ormus, and extract diet. Or it could be, you know, organic mangoes and peaches and heaps of celery or whatever. So it depends. And then the person might be going eating a clean diet, but now they're up late till 2 a.m. on the forums reading and watching YouTube videos. They're going about 9 to 8 p.m. now up at 2 a.m. They're going to crash. Like Christina, she's going to crash hard because she goes to bed at 3 a.m. often. She will not be able to sustain it. She's young, she's got good genetics, she's eating a good diet, but her lifestyle is not sustainable, so she will crash. And when she crashes, people might blame her diet. But it's more the lifestyle. Late nights will catch up with you. Definitely. I see it already. You know, she's going to crash soon. I take B12, but I do that because I'm a cyclist, not because I'm a vegan. Someone asked me today in the health food shop, what's the best supplements for vegans? I said, vegans don't need any supplements. But if you're an athlete, then B12 can help you. Because it brings your red blood cells up. And it's just a safe vitamin. So vegans don't need supplements, definitely not. But if you want to be fitter, I'd recommend doing a course of B12 shots and seeing how it affects you. Because B12 is common to be low in this today's society. Yeah, the air is so polluted, the water's got chlorine, the food's dipped in chlorine. So a lot of that reduces the amount of B12 in our system. Or maybe we've got more stress, we've got kids, we've got money problems, that all chews up your B12. So people say, just eat some meat. Meat doesn't give you B12. If it did, only vegans would have B12 deficiency. So that's why we live in such a sterile world, doing a B12 shot every month or so, or 2 months. You know, it's just a little something unnatural to help us in this unnatural world. Safe, whatever. But I don't recommend vegans do B12 shots. I recommend anyone should do B12 shots, but look into it. You don't have to do them because I say so. Just do your own homework. But vegan diet, you don't need supplements. But if you want to be an athlete, B12 shots can help you. They're safe. But it's optional. Do what you want to do. Depends on the person. Someone said the other day, if you do B12 shots, your body stops producing its own B12. Well, or if you supplement B12, your body stops producing it. Well, most of us have been supplementing our whole lives anyway. In our cereals, got added B12. In Australia, they inject the cows with B12 before slaughter, so it raises the levels in the meat so they can sell it. So it looks rich in B12, yeah, because you just gave the cow a B12 shot. So every month or so, you know, it's cheap, it's easy to do. It's not expensive. I don't sell them. You know, in your shoulder, in your eyeball. Just do your homework on them. And every single cyclist I've ever met does B12 shots. I mean, they do a lot of other things as well, but the fundamental thing of a doping program is that they do the B12. It helps you raise your hemoglobin levels, more stamina.
The body actually doesn't produce B12, it's bacteria.
Yeah, the bacteria, yeah. Yeah, yeah, so the bacteria in your gut gets killed by the chlorine and pollution.
No, I actually can have a look at one up. Okay. There, I cannot really look at this one up.
So the question is, I'm a boxer and I want to drop weight? Yeah. So maybe if you're if you're a fighter and you've got to be in a certain weight class, and when you drop weight, you have no energy, my suggestion, and you're eating healthy, my tip would be go to the next weight class, because maybe that weight is too low for you. So I could drop down to 55 kilos, easy. But I'd be like, you know, I couldn't do anything. So if I was a boxer, my weight class would be probably 65 kilos if I was fighting. But I could get down to 55, easy. I could get down to 50 kilos. But I couldn't walk, let alone fight. So I'd say, too many people fighting a weight category that's too light for their level of fitness. So I'd say go to the next category up and just dominate. Or maybe long term on the program, your weight will probably drop anyway. So it depends. It depends. But I think on the program, your weight will drop long term. But right now, you might have to fight that class, and then down the track, you fight at lower level classes. But if you try and stress yourself now to fight in a class that your body doesn't want to fight in, there's no point in doing that. Fight in a weight class that works for you now, and reassess in the future. Does that make sense? Yeah. And in that way, it's easy. And then you can maintain high levels of fitness. And over time, your weight might just drop down. Well, it probably will. Then you have to be crashing it and forcing it down. And that's what can cause burnout in athletes. So let the weight take care of itself and just do good things, and it will be all right. That's what I'll do anyway. Facebook group. Oh, okay. Yeah. What's the question? $3,000, is it?
I wanted to know what you use to count calories and that decision.
Probably chronometer. Is that a secret password? If you got a psycho, oh, I'm not going to get back, I'll get back to you. No. Yeah. Remind me back at the hotel. Maybe someone's changed or something, I don't know.
No, I can't use it on my iPhone anymore. I used to be able to now. I can actually if I go through Google rather than my Facebook password.
They got banned.
I didn't get back.
There's always glitches. Maybe try a different browser or something.
Yeah. Yeah, like when I went through my Google password instead of my Facebook one worked again.
Yeah.
Facebook is working.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. Questions?
Is there if someone have been under eating, I mean have an eating disorder or just calorie restriction for many years and come to the lifestyle and follow the recommendations, and after 1 year found themselves like gain 20 kilos or something, is that, do they do something wrong?
No.
Or is it normal? Or?
The body has to gain weight. There's no way you can starve and then get to a healthy lifestyle and not gain weight. You know.
So will it?
Yeah, then it'll go back to normal, for sure. It's just the body's, when someone starves either on purpose or just forgets to eat or whatever, or they're stressed, the body's hormones just take a drop. And so when you start getting food and water again, the body has to store and repair. It's like if you break an arm, it gets swollen. The body's healing, repairing it. So you're basically healing, repairing yourself. Your heart's going to get bigger, your liver's going to get bigger, your bones are going to get stronger. You're going to gain weight. You're going to have more blood. You're going to have more lymph. And maybe your lymph might be a bit blocked because you're not doing enough sport because you're just, recovering. So things will get better, but definitely it's just how it is. Like it's just, the body can't be starved.
So but is it just?
It will rebound.
I mean, if you didn't calorie restrict before you came to the lifestyle, you shouldn't gain weight, or is it?
If you get fitter, you're going to gain weight. You can't get fit and not gain weight because your blood volume is going to go up, your hydration is going to go up, you'll have more testosterone most likely, and that's going to cause more water retention. You're going to gain weight if you get fit, but your body will change. So you can be 50 kilos and be floppy, or you can be 50 kilos and have like some good tone. So it's, or you can be 55 kilos and be smaller than someone who's 50 kilos at the same height, because fat and fluid takes up more room than muscle. So body weight doesn't mean anything really.
So what about going from raw 80-10-10 to RawTill4? Do you think you can gain weight?
On the same amount of calories, you're probably about the same, maybe a bit more salt retention, but it depends on the person's lifestyle as well. Because if they're doing 80-10-10 and they can't get enough calories, and then they come over here and go, well, I've got enough calories, let's go and play with the kids, let's go do some sport. That mountain, let's go and smash it. And now all of a sudden they've got more energy to train, so they can shift their body composition. But on 80-10-10, they're struggling to get enough fruit. They're like, I can't do nothing, So it depends on the person, individual situation. But at the end of the day, it's got to work, this lifestyle. But things take time.
So you have to increase, going from raw food to RawTill4, you have to increase your activity level to...
You just have to live more. That's what we tell people to do, is just live more. Yeah. Give your partner more passion. Give your kids more attention. Thrash your bike. Race cars to work. Just do more. Don't go to the gym on the treadmill. If you've got a treadmill, unplug it and sell it. Get outside and do stuff. Be an activist. Give your energy. And you'll never have a weight issue ever again. Anyone. But people have to be patient and understand it doesn't happen overnight. Mental shifts can happen in a second, but physiological change, it takes time, depending on the person's background. Maybe they abuse their body for 1 year or 30 years or whatever. Things take time, but the mental shift happens now. That's just a choice in the moment to be a champion or a victim. So,
I think that process can be faster if you're 100% raw though.
No, it depends. Okay, yeah, it depends on the person's lifestyle. Like if let's say me and Doug Graham, we had a competition, we had a 500-pound person, and we had to get him as fit as possible as soon as possible. I'm going to win. Because Doug's going to tell me cucumbers for dinner. I won't have any energy. I have no sex drive. They'll be like depressed as heck. But on my program, they'll be like, let's go and do stuff, Harley. So they'll be fitter long term, and they'll be able to sustain it long term. So it depends on the person. But it has to be a real world approach, and it has to be sustainable long term. Anyone can do a water fast and lose weight, but it's going to come back on you. Anyone can do a juice fast for 90 days and lose weight, but it's going to come back on you. So your program has to be sustainable every day for the rest of your life. Otherwise it's a fad, and it won't work.
How about a juice fast that is like high enough in calories though?
You need fibre. If you have, the question is, what about a juice fast where you're having 5,000 calories a day? So that's good. So you get enough calories, but you got no fibre. So your digestion gets really weak. And then when you have fibre again, you're like, oh, it's not working properly. So you need to have fibre. You need to have fibre. Fibre is a nutrient. It helps the digestion, everything. So yeah.
Do you think ultra running is sustainable over a long term and not the lifestyle?
Is ultra running sustainable long term on this lifestyle? It depends what your training's like. You know, if people are like running at night time instead of sleeping, probably not. Definitely not. If people are running, if they're taking painkillers so they can run, that's not sustainable.
No, training sensibly through the day, about
For sure.
100 miles a week.
All the best ultra runners are high carb vegans.
Cook vegan as well.
It's Mike Arnstein's eating a cooked vegan diet when he ran his fastest times. He wasn't eating fruit when he was running, he was eating gels. You know, sugars, juices. So yeah, he's eating his pasta and beans and stuff. Still a lot of fruit. But Scott Jurek, you know, all those guys, for sure. Kenyans, the Kenyan runners, they eat mostly corn and bananas. So definitely it's sustainable. It's just a matter of if this person's training right. If you get pain as a runner, you shouldn't train. Like Victoria Arnstein, she had a hip problem because she took painkillers in a race so she could keep going. So she did her race, but she had an injury that lasted for months. Mike Arnstein had to quit running at a high level because he started running with leg weights and got a hip injury. And he was forced out. So you have to be smart with your approach, otherwise it won't work. But for sure, I mean, high carb, low fat diet creates superhuman stamina, so you have to be careful with your training so you don't overtrain. Like today on the mountain, we talked to a few people, they're like, Harley, I'm feeling a bit fatigued. And I'm like, why is that? I don't know, what's wrong? And I'm like, is this the most kilometres you've ever done in your life in 1 week? And they're like, yeah. Like, maybe that could be a factor. And they're like, yeah, I guess. And I'm like, have you ever ridden up a mountain this tall in your life? I said, no, never. But you've done it the last 3 days in a row. And they're like, I guess. I said, yes, that's right. So we have to be realistic with how we feel and what's going on. But that's where my experience comes in. I've had the opportunity to train with some incredible athletes on amazing drugs and talk with the coaches, etc. So I get to have some unique insights I can bring to the table that a lot of raw food people or health people don't have because they don't have enough energy to associate with these high-level drugged-up athletes. So they're not there at the cafes talking or whatever. But I've been there, I get to hang out with a lot of different demographics and bring that information back to the table. It's good stuff. I love learning about how the human body works and things like that. But I'm not a smart guy, I pay attention to details. And that's what matters, the little details, the little things. The millimetres on your seat, up or down or whatever. It's the little things that add up.
What your experience you gather from riding with other pro cyclists? What's the 5 best tips you've got for riding faster, with a faster rider?
Speak up here?
With all the information you've got from riding with pro cyclists, what's the 5 best tips you've got for riding with, becoming a faster rider?
What's the 5 best tips I've learnt from riding with pro-level riders? The biggest tip would be staying hydrated and peeing clear every 2 or 3 hours. That's a tip I learnt from Stuart O'Grady and Cadell Evans. He told me just get as much sleep as you can. That's the second tip. Third tip would be from Dr. Ferrari, just saying that most people don't eat enough carbohydrates, so eat as much carbohydrates as you can get and keep your fat intake low. From Lance Armstrong I learnt cadence, always spin your legs out up a climb. Another thing that I learnt from Lance is about attitude. Have a goal and do whatever it takes to get it. Maybe minus the drugs. But just that mindset, just do it. Get it done. Get it frickin' done. So they're the biggest tips I learned. Water, sugar, sleep, mindset, and cadence. Yeah. We'll do a couple more questions and we'll wrap it up.
You able to speak to any of those athletes about the vegan diet?
Oh, have I ever spoken to any of those cyclists or athletes about vegan diet? Definitely. Because all cyclists want to be a little bit leaner. Just a little bit leaner. Doesn't matter how lean you are as a cyclist, I can lose a little bit more weight. So they're always looking at diet. But a lot of the pro guys, I tell them about the diet, and some of them go, you know what, I eat like you in the off season. I'm not a vegan, I don't care about the animals, but I eat like you, I've seen your videos, blah, 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 and yeah, some good stuff, but I can never be a vegan full time. So they're taking this stuff on board, more and more, because now the drug control is getting tighter. You have to look at other ways to get the performance enhancement for your diet. So nutritional doping is definitely increasing now. The riders are looking at beetroot juice or replacing dairy with soy milk or rice milk. Oh, it's happening for sure.
Everybody, I feel like, loves this lifestyle. This is amazing to not be restricting calories.
Yeah.
And a lot of people count calories, I feel like, to get enough calories in.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious how you would measure, like, everybody burns a different amount of calories with different exercise depending on their, depending on their fitness level. And I'd like to hope that we still have, like, intuitive eating skills and can feel when we're full and stop eating. And it seems to me that with this lifestyle, it's hard to be intuitively eating when I'm trying to get so many calories in.
Yeah.
And where's that balance between stuffing yourself and listening to your body and how you deal with that?
So where's the balance between stuffing your face with pad thai or listening to your body and saying I've had enough? You'll get to that point over time. I just basically eat until I'm about to vomit. And I go, I've had enough. In cycling they say eat till you vomit, but then eat what you vomited. I don't think vomit tastes that good. So I eat till I'm about to, I'm just like, I'm done. You know, I could probably force in some more, but I'm good.
Do you think that's healthy?
Do I think it's healthy? Definitely.
Athlete, though. I feel like if you're not an athlete,
Because I look at every single wild animal in nature and they will gorge. They will eat as much as they physically can. Well, if you look at a snake, it will eat like an antelope. You know, it'll take 2 hours to get it down its throat.
Yeah, but not every day.
If it needs it, it will. It's about eating but we eat different foods. The foods we eat pass through our system really quickly. If a snake eats an antelope, it's not gone in 2 hours. It takes days to digest. So our food, like fruit or rice, is gone in a few hours or a day. So I say eat as much as you want. A lot of people say, no, you guys got to have 1,200 calories a day if you're 80 kilos. And if you're 100 kilos, you're going to have 800 calories a day. No. Eat as much as you want. And use that fuel to get stuff done in life. People often eat stuff and they just sit around watching TV. And that's cool, but you're wasting your life. Eat your food and get shit done. Have goals, write them down. Put the fuel in, the pad thai or the mangoes or the bananas or the vegan pizzas. You use that as fuel for tomorrow's action. And you never have to worry about calories. People tell me all the time, I've had psychiatrists say, you have an emotional eating disorder, Harley. You're a binge eater. I'm a psychiatrist. You are a binge eater. I said, cool, man. Thanks for telling me. Just live more. So how do you listen to your intuition? Often our intuition's been clouded from the psychiatrist or our parents or our past history. Just eat as much as you can handle and get shit done. Basically, that's what I do. So people will say, like Doug or other people say, just don't eat too much, blah, blah, blah. Eat cucumbers for dinner. Not for me. Not for us. And the main reason Freelee and myself has a social media presence, what we do is carbohydrate intake. Because to maintain that constant intensity every day is fuel. That's all it is. It's carbohydrate intake. So I might not feel like eating, but I'll eat because I know tomorrow I have to deliver again. I have to go around the mountain again. I have to answer the same 100 questions again. I've got to take people to the bike shop again or whatever. And I love doing it. But I understand it takes fuel. And if I want to do what I love, I have to put the fuel in so I can keep doing what I love. If you want to drive your car somewhere, you've got to fuel it up. Same with your body. What happens to this will be the last question. We'll do more tomorrow. What happens to excess calories? Let's say we eat 5,000 calories of rice and we sit down. You can do that for a day or 2 days. There's no way on earth you can eat 5,000 calories a day from bananas. Who can eat 50 bananas a day or 80 bananas a day sitting on the couch? Nobody can do that. That's like a hypothetical. It's like saying, Harley, if you're on an island with your mum and you had to have sex with your mum to save the human race, we'll do it. It's never going to happen. It's crazy. So, but that's what people say. I understand that question. But, yeah. But I get that question a lot. It's a common question. You can't eat too much carbohydrate. Long term, you cannot. You cannot. It's physically impossible. But because carbohydrate is 4 calories per gram. But with fat's 9 calories per gram. So let's say I'm going to put this water bottle in my stomach and that fills me up. And that's my daily carbohydrate calories. That's the only volume I can have. Let's say it's 3,000 calories. If that was fat, that's 6,000 calories. So I've gotten 3,000 calories too much because I've forced that in with the fat. Because fat's very dense. That's why people get fat. It's because they might have 600 grams of carbs per day, but they have like 200 or 300 grams of fat with it. So at the end of the week, they've got 2 kilos of extra fat to deal with. And that's how people get obese. Because they're having their carbs, they have a lot of fat with it. And animal protein, so the insulin level is really high. So they've got high insulin, they've got this massive dietary fat intake coming in all the time. So that's how people get obese. No one is obese eating steamed rice and corn and fruits. No obese person on the planet is shopping their cart around the Costco and filling it full of mangoes and peaches and rice. I've been to Costco, every single obese person I've met, unless they're just on the lifestyle for a short term, and then they become slim over time. They're all eating the same obesity foods. But they'll tell you quickly, oh, rice makes you fat. I'm obese because, I don't know. I'll tell you why you're obese, I'll tell them, blah, blah, blah. So what happens to excess glycogen? Your body burns it off through dietary thermogenesis. People say you need to burn your glycogen before you burn fat. If that was the case, I'd be obese. Because I rarely run out of glycogen. Excess heat, dietary thermogenesis, just sweat it out. Yeah. Excess carbohydrates get burnt by dietary thermogenesis, 100%. That's why you never ever find someone long-term, 5, 10, 20, 50 years on this lifestyle is overweight. Because the body's not designed to be overweight because it's bad for the knees, bad for the joints, bad for the spine. So the body long-term always wants to gravitate towards a slim physique. That's why when people do steroids, they get big and swole, as soon as they get off the steroids, the body shrinks down again. So it doesn't want to be that way. The body wants to be like a greyhound. Because that's what the joint's designed for, lightweight. We'll do more Q&A tomorrow. We'll try and keep it an hour every day. Smash it out. Cool. And just a quick announcement. We had a dinner at Happy Green organised, maybe from Monday or Tuesday. What we're going to do so people turn up is it'll be about 200 baht, is that right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it? Or?
Yeah, we'll collect money tomorrow. So the first 80 to 100 people who give us